and also thank you to you for heeding to our call and also joining us today in this training. So while we are waiting for our moderator, I believe everyone knows who I am. Every of our members here, the tutors and the participants in this group today. So just very quickly, I would want to ask the participants. I think there is one participant here already. That is Mr. Blessing Olowosoke. How will you hear me? Please, can you unmute yourself? Can you hear me? Decide it to those. Can you unmute yourself, Mr. Blessing? Okay, thank you. I think one other participant just messaged me, and that is just so funny because I think the email was sent to everyone. So I don't know why participants will be messaging me that where is the link. Anyways, that's another story for another day because the link has been sent 2 days ago, and I expect everyone to have seen it. I think I sent a follow-up on the group. That's the mentorship group for the participants. So I expect that we should have checked our email or maybe check the spam box of our email so that we can get that information about the training. So today, my name is Christopher Busayo Olowosoke, as you all know me. I'm the founder and the host of B.Khrease Academic Consult. And today I have with me tutors from all fields in the area of STEM, the area of management, and the area of engineering in some ways, because we have biotechnologists here, so they are a little bit engineers and biological scientists. So today is the first day, and today is the introduction day, like not the real training day. Today is just the introduction, but then we are going to be discussing a lot of things for the training today. So I don't know if my moderator is available now, so that she can give us the welcome speech and all that. Please unmute yourself, moderator, and let us hear the welcome speech so we can begin the training properly.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Mentorship 2.0 program organized by B.Khrease Consult. My name is B.Khrease, and I'll be your moderator for this.
Excuse me, are you using a phone and a system?
Yes.
I would advise that you reduce the volume of one, and then the one that you reduce the volume, you completely put the volume at, like, mute the volume, so you can leave the other one. That is why you're having the echoes. So you would mute one and then reduce. There's difference between you reducing the volume and muting it. So you have to reduce the volume of the one you want to mute before you mute it, so it will not interfere. I have two systems here with me also, but then I don't think it's interfering because I was able to mute. Okay, thank you. Please go ahead. Okay, go ahead. We are with you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am B.Khrease, your moderator, and I warmly welcome you to Mentorship 2.0 presented by B.Khrease Academic Consult. It's wonderful to see so many to see some enthusiastic undergraduate students gathered here today, all embarking on the exciting journey of thesis writing. Thesis writing makes a pivotal moment in your academic journey. It's a time when you transition from being learners to becoming contributors to your field of study. This mentorship program is designed to equip you with essential skills and knowledge needed to undertake this significant endeavor. Throughout this program, you will have the opportunity to delve deep into the essentials of thesis writing, from formulating a research question to conducting rigorous literature reviews, from analyzing data to presenting your findings with clarity and precision. Our aim is to guide you through every step of the thesis writing process. Our mentors, who are experts in their respective fields, are here to support you along the way. They bring a wealth of experience and insights, ready to offer guidance on refining your research methodology, structuring your thesis chapter, and ensuring academic integrity in your work. Beyond the technical aspect of thesis writing, this program also emphasizes personal and intellectual growth. It encourages you to explore new ideas, challenge existing paradigms, and develop your critical thinking and analytical skills. It's about fostering a spirit of inquiry and innovation that will not only benefit your thesis, but also shape your future academic and professional endeavors. I encourage each of you to make the most of this mentorship experience. Take advantage of the resources and expertise available to you. Engage actively with your mentors and peers. Seek feedback and advice, and don't hesitate to explore different perspectives and methodologies. As you embark on this journey, remember that thesis writing is not just about meeting academic requirements. It's about making a meaningful contribution to your field and leaving a lasting impact. Embrace the challenges ahead with enthusiasm and determination, knowing that this experience will shape you into a more accomplished scholar and researcher. Thank you for being here today. I wish you all a productive and fulfilling journey through this mentorship program. Thank you. So the next on our agenda will be the introduction of our mentees. So I would like our mentees to introduce themselves.
Please unmute yourself and introduce yourself. Let's see ourselves. I'm not speaking with ghosts, or we are not speaking with ghosts. So this is going to be an interactive session, so we can see ourselves. Yeah, we are waiting for our participants. Moderator, they are
I
not
guess the
answering
video is not
you.
working. I don't know.
Our
I guess the
Moderator,
video is not working.
your video is not working. Which kind of phone are you using your
The
system?
video is not working. I guess so. I don't even know.
You are
Who's the
lying on
system
your
actually?
phone or
I'm not
your
even getting
system.
it.
Which one are you lying on?
You couldn't access your camera.
Because it cannot be Zoom that will make your screen not
Ah,
work. If you say you are not in a place that you don't want us to see the background.
no.
Okay. Please introduce yourself. At least I think that was what she said.
My
Hello.
name is a 500 student of.
I can barely hear you, sir. I think the participant is not ready to introduce himself. Please go ahead to what is on the agenda, the next thing, so we can move forward. You have
Again, it's introduction of our tutors.
okay. Are you the one introducing them or they are introducing themselves? Please let's be clear.
So please, let's start with Mr. Olaleko Adetola. Please introduce yourself. Mr. Olaleko Adetola.
Hello, good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
we can.
Okay. Once again, you are welcome to this platform, the mentorship program for undergraduates. We're happy to have our trainees and the tutors around. And okay, let me just start by introducing myself. Let me go straight to the point. My name is Adetola Olaleko Emmanuel. I am a quality assurance inspector and I work in a food and beverage industry. And for this course, I'll be taking us on the importance of AI and the chapter 3 of thesis writing. And I'll be working together with my other mentors to take us on this journey of thesis writing. And I believe you are here to get the best out of this, and definitely you'll get the best out of it. All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, you want to see my face?
Yes,
We
please
are.
close your.
Grace, please come. Leave your girlfriend and come. I want to show you something.
Yes, yes. Hello.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Benson Okori, please introduce yourself. Mr. Benson. I guess Benson is
Sorry.
not here.
I'm here, sorry.
Okay.
Good afternoon, guys. Trust
Good afternoon.
we are all doing well. To our founder, to my co-tutors, the participants, I greet everyone. Great having you guys in this type of gathering, the academic gathering for we tack mentorship 2.0. And I believe all the participants and we the mentors, we are going to achieve the aim of coming to this type of platform. Platform is going to run for 7 weeks, which I want to guarantee all the participants that they are going to see the reason why you need yourself to be in this type of platform for your educational pursuits. Okay, I'm Benson Okuri by name as the mentor, as the moderator has said. A research analyst, basically about technologies, and a molecular analyst. I work in a lab in Benin, Lao Research and Molecular Center. I graduated from FUTA, from the final set of biotechnology. So I will be taking the second week, which should be the next week. I'll be taking you guys on research gap and how to structure your chapter 1. So definitely, I'm going to share a lot of light in that regard. So I want you all to be available for that week and other weeks. So it's with my own commitment and your own, that's why you can have a productive gathering like this. So it's not be as if we just make gathering that, okay, what are we doing? So we are here to learn. So I want to assure you guys with the help of the founder, my co-tutors, that this is going to be a great program that you guys will benefit a lot. So over to you, moderator. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Tokpe Ibisomi, please introduce yourself.
Good day, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yeah,
can.
You are loud and
Good
clear.
day. How are we all doing today?
very fine.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
are
so
not
my name is
interested in
Tokwe.
knowing that. We want to know you.
My name is Tokwe Ibisomi Abraham. I'm also a graduate of Federal University of Technology, Korea. And I'm affiliated with both Experimental and Bioinformatics Institute. And I have some publication. I will be taking you guys on the number 5 of this program, which is plagiarism and how to avoid it. And I'll also be teaching you some software to use for it. So I wish you all a productive program. Thank you.
All
Thank you,
right,
sir.
thank you. Miss Ibuku Ata, please can you introduce yourself? Miss Ibuku.
Where I am is very, very noisy, guys. Good afternoon. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can hear you.
Okay. Briefly, my name is Atai Buku. I'm also a graduate of the Federal University of Technology, Korea, right? And I'm currently working in a bank, Globus Bank. And I'll be taking you guys through everything from chapter 1 to chapter 6 of how you can write research as a management student. And I hope you all will enjoy this program. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, please, Mr.
Okay, I think
Adebayo.
we still have this.
Please, Mr. Adebayo Olarewaju, please can you introduce yourself? Mr.
All right,
Adebayo.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Thank you so much. I'm waiting. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you so
What
much,
language is
moderator.
that?
Thank you so much, moderator.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, B.Khrease. Thank you, moderator. Yeah. I'm sorry, my name is displaying Adebayo Olarewaju, Adebayo Emmanuel. I'm using my team signed in with my official name, not my normal Gmail, my school official name. That's why I'm bringing out that name. All right. My name is Adebayo Emmanuel Olarewaju. Yeah. So I'm a graduate of the Department of Applied Biochemistry from the Federal University of Technology, where my interest is majorly in leadership, research, and I'm literally doing the theory, and it goes to be excellent in the theory. So that excellence is one of the things we'll be giving out. I'll be giving out to you, taught to the students in this class. Combined with other tutors, can assure you that you will get the best. So I'll be taking this third week. That's the basis of the research question and the structure of your thesis, which will be in chapter 2. So that means the basis, why research, how to get your research question, your structure, and your chapter 2, how to get it all done. Thank you so much. I know strongly that this few weeks will be a great week for all we are all the mentees time.
Okay. All right, thank you, Mr. Adebayo Emmanuel. The next on the agenda is a breakdown of the topics that will be covered for the 1 month mentorship program we'll be having. For this mentorship program, we'll be covering all that it entails to write a good thesis, which includes topic creation and database, how to make or how to create a good enticing topic, a good catching topic that will be impressive. Also, the basic type of research gap and what your chapter 1 should entail. Normally, we all know that chapter introduction of your topic, and under that introduction of your topic, it also has to do with hello, can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes, we
Yeah.
can.
Yes.
Yes.
We can hear
Another,
you if you can hear you.
okay, sorry. Another, the introduction is using your research topic, stating the problem, objective, and significance of research topic. The second part of thesis writing, which is the chapter, which has to do with literature review, there we are going to be enlightened on how to make relevant literature search within the context of your topic, and also how to identify gaps in the current research, and also identifying gaps in your current research. Then the chapter 3, which has to do with methodology, to describe your research design, methods of data collection, and also analysis. Your methodology has to be detailed enough in order to allow replication of the study. Then your chapter 4, which has to do with results. This chapter presents the finding of your research, and it could also include the use of tables, graphs, charts, and it also involves the use of some data analytical tools like maybe Power BI, Tableau, Excel, to make your thesis more catching and enticing and amazing to readers or your supervisor, or if you intend to publish it, is to make it more enticing. Then chapter 5, which has to do with discussion, it deals with interpreting your results, explaining the implications and how they relate to your research questions and the literature review. Then chapter 6, which is conclusion and also recommendation, it summarizes the key findings. You also discuss limitations of the study and suggest areas for future research. Then the final part, which is reference. Our tutors are going to teach us how to write a good reference, whereby you are going to list all the sources cited in the thesis, and you follow a particular citation style. That is just a brief breakdown of the topics that will be covered in this training. So the next on our agenda is our host, Mr. Christopher Olowosoke, who is meant to who is meant to tell us what B.Khrease is all about and give us some introduction.
Okay.
Mr.
Thank you so
Christopher.
much. Thank you so much for that introduction. Even if even myself, I know I'm bigger than that introduction. So the way you introduce me is as if you are introducing primary 2 students. But
Oh, sorry. Let's introduce our host, Professor Christopher Olowosoke. It's a round of applause, please. You people should clap, oh, please. You guys should clap. Tutors, clap. Welcome our host and the founder of B.Khrease Consult. Nobody's clapping.
We are clapping. We are clapping.
Ah,
Welcome, boss. I need to. Mr.
we can hear
Olowosoke, we cannot hear you. Almost yourself, sir.
Oh, I'm very sorry. What I was saying is it's going to be a session where we are just going to be talking about thesis creation. We are just going to be talking about thesis, topic creation rather, and then databases, which is the first thing on our list for this training. So while we are, Mr. Benson, I'm just seeing your ceiling. Please, I need to see your face if you want to show me your face.
I'm with you now, listening.
Yeah. Thank you. At least I know you are the only one courageous enough beside me to show your screen.
All of us should just show
That
our face. I don't know why everyone is like that.
that is a good leadership spirit. Thank you for showing your face. So as I was saying, we are going to be walking through topic creation. Can we all see my screen? We are going to be walking through topic creation and databases. But before we start, I would just want to like welcome.
We are seeing is
Yeah, we're not seeing the screen yet. Like we only see the program logo, but
yeah, I know. I'm just
okay.
the ones teaching you the program logo. So I want to welcome everyone to this training and just appreciate everyone that was able to come up as tutor. Now, the real thing is, it's not about the number of crowd that is going to be attending this program, but then we know that with the limited number of tutors that are going to be taking each chapters of this thesis writing, we know whoever is going to be joining us is going to be getting different ideas, different perspectives of how to write a thesis, which is going to be very good for the participants. And like I said, for each of the Saturdays, I think we are having about 7 Saturdays to go through this training. For each of the Saturdays, there is one tutor assigned for a specific topic under thesis writing chapter. At the same time, some other additional informations that are needed, essential for you to know how to write a thesis. So today I'm just going to be going through the thesis. I'll be going through the topic creation and databases. And you all know me, I'm the founder and the CEO of B.Khrease Academic Consult. So for the outline of the presentation today, we are going to be going through thesis overview, thesis breakdown, just to break down what thesis is, and how to come up with a topic creation, databases, and reference. I know if I ask about 2 or 3 people in this group today now, like the participants, what they know about thesis, I believe everyone have idea of what a thesis is. But then it's going to come to a stage where you ask someone that is just getting into final year in Nigerian university to come up with writing a thesis. It's not like they don't have, they've not heard of what a thesis is before, or they have not seen how a thesis look like. Many students might have come across seeing thesis, binded thesis that have been submitted to the department. But then the process at which a student is going to go about getting those informations together, breaking down those information to communicate a compounded research, finding a solution to gaps or gaps, research problem, research gaps that are being identified in that thesis might be something that is going to have a challenge for students. So today we are going to be going through a thesis overview. And like I've broken it down here, a thesis is a long research paper. Now, a thesis is different from several types of writing that we have in an undergraduate setting. And that is because a thesis is like one of the main requirements for a student before they can graduate. You must be able to present a thesis that has been able to show a documentation of what you have done as a research, maybe at the final phase of your undergraduate research. Now, if you want to classify a thesis different from an essay, you are going to say a thesis is more compounded, having a lot of information, having a breakdown of process for you to, like I said, get a problem that you want to have a solution to, identify a gap, get the kind of review you are going to be writing about that gaps, and then identify protocols, analysis that you are going to be putting in place to resolve that question. At the same time, you are going to be coming up with hypothesis that is relevant to back up the questions you are asking in a thesis. So now the next thing is for undergraduates, most of the time, a thesis is always between the 40 to 60 page. So now you can have a thesis for an undergraduate that is 40 to 60 page. And then this same thesis, when you go, most of the time for School of Sciences, STEM, engineering, and mathematics, you have a limited number of 40 to 60 pages. But then I've seen students presenting a thesis that is more than 60 pages based on the information that is in it. So most of the time, standard-wise for undergraduates, your thesis should be between 40 to 60 pages. And this does not include your references. I hope you are getting what I'm saying. So if your thesis is 40 to 60 pages, that is, if you are presenting a document that is between this number of pages, that means you are presenting a thesis-like document, which is different from essay that probably might be between 20, 15 pages, or practical manuals, which is between 15 to 20 pages too. So now the information in your thesis is going to differentiate it from other type of documents you are submitting. So a thesis is a long research paper that is usually between 40 to 60 pages. Now, it requires, like for undergraduates, it's always a requirement that undergraduates have the guidance of supervisor or senior colleague before they can come about writing a thesis, because a thesis has to do with you having an idea of what you want to do. Because you don't have ideas as an undergraduate, and just coming to put together a compounded information for you to present that you have done something reasonable, and then you have been able to solve or bring idea or raise question or bring solutions to questions that you have raised. You must be able to have the guidance of a supervisor or a senior colleague in you to write a thesis. Now, thesis writing is not automatic, or it's not magic, like I said. Now, if you don't have idea of how to write thesis, and you are not coming through a training like this, or maybe having guidance from your supervisor or senior colleague, you're obviously going to have issues from undergraduates that don't have the idea before. And it is always an original research. Now, based on undergraduate level, most of the time, many of our undergraduate research are not original research. And when I mean original research, it's not like we are not conducting analysis or carrying out isolation if you're in microbiology, or conducting one procedure or another. But then we are going to notice that most of the time, the research that is being done in Nigerian university is like a replicate of what has been done before. Now, for instance, let me say you as an undergraduate, you are coming to do a research in Nigeria that is solving a question of what is the microorganism. For instance, let me use microbiologists as a case study. What is the microorganism that is identified in food spoilage from South? This kind of research is not like you don't have idea of microorganism that has been identified in spoiled food. But then you are trying to conduct this research because it's peculiar. Is someone saying something? Please unmute yourself. Mute yourself, brother, if you are not. Mr. Tokwe,
Please,
mute yourself.
can you yourself?
Okay. So like I was saying, like for instance, for microbiology now, if they are going to conduct research at the undergraduate level, you are going to discover that most of this research are like a repetitive research. They are not contributing most of the time new knowledge to area of research, because if you are conducting a research where you are isolating a microorganism from a spoiled food, obviously they are normal biota, like microorganisms that are known with spoiled food. You are just expecting to know how much of this, what the colony of microorganisms that are present in spoiled food is going to look like, maybe in a particular geographical area. So now that is not a research that is contributing new knowledge, but then it's giving idea of a known knowledge, contributing knowledge that is not new, but then it's solidifying that, oh, there is no way you are going to conduct this kind of research on spoiled food that you are not still going to get this microorganism. So it's like it is solidifying an existing knowledge. You get what I'm saying? So for undergraduates, if you are conducting a research and you are not doing a research that is original, most of the time, it's going to require that you are going to need to extract existing research idea that is going to come up with topic that's from already known research. And if you are now conducting like original research, it's going to require that many of the time to generate your own data without you looking at existing ways of doing things. So if an undergraduate is doing a research now that require them to go to get data from already known source that they are confident they are going to get the organism, like I said, it's not a new research. It is just you extracting existing ideas, then solidifying it based on the geographical area. That is why you are going to see many of the graduate research in Nigeria are repetitive. Now, for undergraduates, it is important that for you to start your research thesis writing, you have to have a research topic. You need to have a research topic, which is going to guide you on how to go about writing a research. Now, from one of our book that we have been able to produce for undergraduates, we have a topic creation breakdown. Now, choosing a project topic is a taxing and brain-deaving requirement for most undergraduates in Nigeria, which is true, because many times you are just telling a student that has not done this kind of thing before to just come up and write a thesis. Now, if you are telling them to write a thesis, most of the time it's going to require them to have an idea of which topic and what they want to do. But in the case of Nigeria, most of the time you are always giving, many Nigerian undergraduates are given a research topic based on the preference of their supervisor, which is going to limit the idea of what the students know, corresponding to what the student is willing to do. So you need to have a research topic. And in the case of Nigerian University, many times you get your topic from your supervisor. Now, if you have the privilege of getting your topic from your own idea, it's still going to be limited, because whatever topic you are going to be getting or developing as an undergraduate, you need to streamline it to what your supervisor is working around. So let's say, for instance, I'm in biotechnologies. I want to work in the area of biorecycling of plastic waste. But then my supervisor is an environmental scientist. But what she's doing is bioremediation of oil spillage. Now you can see, not like my interest or whatever I want to do is not in line with what my supervisor is doing, but because she has an area of concentration in which most of that research is being carried out, it's going to limit what I want to do. Or maybe peradventure, before I start getting a topic, I might have consulted many document articles on processes, analysis that I need to conduct in the area of me using, carrying out a research in biorecycling of plastic waste. But then my research supervisor now is working in the area of oil spillage bioremediation. So then it's going to limit how I'm going to come up with a good research topic. You get what I'm saying? So it's going to also limit how I'm going to be easily able to adapt to working in that area that she's working. But then there are exceptions for students that are good. There are exceptions for students that are good. But if you're a student that don't have idea of how to do this, you are going to need to go about getting a research topic. And in getting a research topic, most of the time is I used to advise students that you need to know what your supervisor is doing. Now, what your supervisor is doing is going to now guide you on how to come up with a research topic. And for you to know what your research supervisor is doing, many times you have their research profile available online. You can easily go online to search what they have been doing and how they have been carrying out in the past years. So you need to have a research topic. That is the first starting point for you to start a thesis writing. Now, the next thing after you've been able to develop a research topic, no, I think I've not given much consideration to this research topic. I would still want to talk about some things. Now, as a Nigerian student, you cannot have spent over 2 years in your university without having a kind of research interest. I think that is one of the things that most students don't used to pay. They don't used to pay attention to. So it is when they get to 500 level, they now start looking at, well, what can I do? Beside the fact that many times we are just, or students are just giving supervisor at random. Students are just giving supervisors at random. So now in a situation where students are not giving supervisors at random, you are going to be tasked with you getting a topic that suits you. But then if you are giving a supervisor at random, you know you are going to succumb to whatever the supervisor give you. You get what I'm saying? So now that is that. I think I'm going to be discussing that in some other slide in the next stage. So the next thing you need to do before you start a thesis writing is compiling and annotated by bibliography, which lists and describe articles relating to the topic. Now, if your supervisor has been able to give you a topic, research topic as an undergraduate, the next thing you need to do is to break down this topic into keywords. Now, for instance, I'm about technologies. My supervisor has given me the research topic. I'm working on effects of bioremediation on waste control. Effect of bioremediation on waste control. Now, I want to break down this topic. I will just pick bioremediation, waste control, and then I'm going to add some other known keywords that I know that are peculiar to this area of research. So I'm just going to compile these keywords and use it to screen out for annotated bibliography. That is a resource that is going to contain articles that are describing research that has been done in this area of this topic that I am given by my supervisor. So that is the next thing you need to do. Break down into keywords, use it to arrange it, annotated by bibliography, and then the next thing is you keep track of articles that you need to refer to back for you to get an idea on what you are going to be compiling together. Now, this is what you need to do before you start a thesis writing. Have a research topic, break down the topic into keywords and use it to arrange annotated bibliography. Then you can use that to get articles on databases, which we are going to still talk about. And you will get these articles, you keep track of these articles so you can refer back to them for your writing. Now, a thesis breakdown. Now, a normal thesis, like a basic thesis, has a breakdown of introduction, a literature review methodology, result and discussion, and most times justification of research, future recommendation, and references. Now, into introduction, because this is not where we are going to be talking about introduction. Introducing a thesis is going to have a brief description of what your research is. Now, many times students tend to forget that introduction is not a part where you are going to be writing comprehensively about your research. Just to give a breakdown of what's summarizing, like abstract, what abstract is, like summarizing a whole research work. But then for introduction, you are going to be giving a brief description of what you want to do. Then it's going to be coming up with justification of why you want to do it. And then many times research problems and research gaps. Now, there's difference between research gaps and statements of there's difference between research gap and statement of problem. Now, many times, statement of problem is basically written in the introduction aspect of your research because, like I said, it's just a brief description of what your research is. So whoever is going to read your thesis is going to have idea of what you are saying and what you want to do. This is the introduction part, which is always brief. And to introduction part, you have your problem, you have your gap. Now, many times, people don't really write comprehensively the gap, research gap that you are trying to resolve in your introduction, because this part is just going to be about 1,000 to 1,005 words. So now you know that you cannot write too much words. And if you're writing too much words, it must be words that are relevant to the introduction aspects of your thesis. Now, the next thing is the literature review. Now, in the literature review, you are going to be presenting the known and the unknown information about the topic, which is basically where you are going to be comprehensively writing about the research gaps. Now, in the research gap, you are going to need to prepare what has been known, like I said, about a research topic. Now, while you know your topic, you have been able to use the breakdown of the keywords to get articles. Now, from this article, annotated bibliography, you are going to be using to get the known about your topic, and then the unknown is going to be standing at the statement of problem or problem statements, depending on the way you want to present it. And many times, introduction, like I didn't say it, you have your aim and your objective. You get what I'm saying? Now, the literature is now going to break down what your research is really talking about, which you have not been able to address in the introduction. Now, the known and the unknown information about the topic, which is comprehensive research gap. Now, the literature review most of the time is different from the introduction because this is going to be much more comprehensive. And many times I've seen students write literature review in their thesis that is going to be publishable. Now, different, like, regardless of what you are writing in your thesis, a literature review alone can be published. So that is why this is going to be comprehensive and it's going to be more than 2,005 to 5,000 words most of the time. Okay, what I'm saying. So the next thing for your thesis breakdown is the methodology. Now, in the methodology, you are going to be having an idea of what you want to use to do your research. Now, while you have been able to know you have the known and the unknown. Now, from this known, you have idea of methods that have been used to conduct this analysis in the known. And then the unknown, which you want to resolve. You are going to be coming up with new methods which are relevant to fill up the gaps that you have identified. So in this research that you have conducted, these articles rather that you have conducted, you are going to be seeing several methods. Either it's with hardwares, many times some people call it dry lab and wet lab. Now, if it is dry lab, depending on the method that you have been able to identify in the articles you use to get information on the unknown, which are the gaps, you are going to be compiling this together, having an idea of, oh, if this is this research, that means this is the approach I'm going to be using to carry out this research. So many times students get lost in knowing the methods in which they're going to be using to conduct a research because they have no idea. What they are looking for is similar research, but they don't know most of the time methods that have been that has been elaborated in these articles they are reading from, getting information from, are just what they are going to be using to replicate the knowledge. And that is why I said most times undergraduate research is not always original research. It's like you just building on already known knowledge. So it's like repeating knowledge for undergraduates. So now, if it is something really new, that means you are going to be incorporating another idea, another analysis that you know that is not always commonly added in this kind of maybe framework of research that you are conducting. So if you are doing this, you need to be aware that whatever you need to do as an undergraduate, papers you are going to be using. Many times for research, you have to get original paper, which is research paper. Sometimes you get literature review. Sometimes you are going to get editors' papers. Sometimes you are going to get mini review. Sometimes you get systematic review. So each of these papers have a framework of methods in which they are used to carry out the research. But then most of the time, if you need to get information about method you are going to be using for research, you need to get original research, because you cannot use a literature review to get document or peradventure another paper to get methods you really need to conduct the research. So now the next thing is the result and discussion, which include the outcome of subject of study, which include uh, results of outcome of study. So like now when you have conducted your research, you get your results, which is what your research is telling you you have done. This is how it looks like. Now, in the discussion aspect, you are going to be comparing it with already known knowledge. Many times, like I said, this is not where we are going to be breaking that down. Someone else is going to be taking this aspect of research. Now, the last thing, I think I've omitted the justification of conducting research and future plans, which I know in subsequent training someone is going to take, and we have reference. Now, creating an outline will help you organize all your idea and evidence into a clear roadmap. Now you have idea of the topic, you have idea of how to get papers, you have idea of where to get papers, which I'm going to still discuss, that is the databases, and you have idea of what the methods look like. So this is going to help you craft a clear roadmap of what you really want to do. Now, most times, the challenging part for undergraduates to get a research thesis done is for them to get a topic and then to identify papers that they are going to use to conduct this research. That is where most people have challenges. Now, if you have been able to resolve this topic development of topic creation, and then you have been able to annotate articles that comprehensively discuss the idea or this identify the known and the unknown, and the methods you are going to be using to resolve this in the lab or wherever you want to conduct your research. Now you have been able to identify or get a clearer roadmap of what you want to do. Now, it's now allow you to prepare a proper flow of writing. Like you already know, these aspects, this breakdown I've been able to give you is embedded in each chapter or one of chapter or another in a thesis. Now, most of the time, we all know that the thesis chapter 1 is introduction. But for undergraduates, it is introduction. But it's going to get to a stage in which you are going to notice, for instance, where I'm conducting my research now, my chapter 1 is not introduction. My chapter 1 is a literature review for my research. So it depends on the established knowledge, established framework for you to carry out a proper writing. So, but then for Nigerian undergraduate students, you know that chapter 1 is always for you to get set out an introduction, which is what you are going to write. It's going to give you your brief description, the gaps, the problem statements, aim, and objective. But for what I'm conducting now, my chapter 1 is introduction. And then you are going to see this is different from what I already know before. But then because I have idea of what my chapter 1 is, which is a comprehensive literature review, I wouldn't have issues because I know what chapter 2 in an undergraduate in Nigeria is. So I'm just going to be switching. So there are sometimes you are going to get to places they will ask you, oh, this is chapter 1, it is this. What you just need to know is how to switch. So you don't need to be confused. What is in literature review in every place is different. What is in introduction in every place is what is in literature review in every place is the same rather. But then most of the time it might be rearranged based on maybe where you are doing your research or where you are conducting your research. So now, if you are able to get this breakdown arranged, you already get a clear roadmap, and the next thing is going to channel you into how to write each section of a thesis at one section at a time. So the next thing for us to know is how to come up with topic creation. I think I've been able to break this down while I was talking. Now, a project or research topic is a taxing and brain-driven requirement. Now, if I ask some of our participants here today that I know you guys are in the second semester, am I correct? Am I correct? Now, many times as an undergraduate, most especially in Nigerian university, like I said, you are going to be given a topic by your supervisor. And if you have privilege of coming up with a topic yourself, that means you have to come up with a topic that is relative or related to what your supervisor is doing. Now, you know the amount of time. Your supervisor cannot tell you, get me a topic, and they will expect you to come with it the second day. Except, like I said, if you're an exceptional student, and you are given a supervisor that is really within the area of where you want to get your undergraduate research done. So many times it's going to be taxi, it's going to give some people headache. Some people will need to even ask seniors that, what can I do? Because they don't have idea of what they want to do. So many times I used to tell students, if you need to get a thesis, a topic for your undergraduate thesis, you need to identify where your research interest is, which boils down to what you are going to need to do beyond the undergraduates. So if you are conducting a research now, most of the time is going to limit where you are going to be able to apply that idea, except if your area of study or field of study is multidisciplinary, like biotechnology now. Now, I conducted my research as an undergraduate in the area of food safety and security, because I had to write a work on capsicum species, which is pepper. Now, what my research actually did is identify genomic diversity of those pepper and then classify if they are under the potent class or they are not within the potent class based on genomic signature, that is biomarkers. Now, you discover that what I'm doing is not just a research that is using molecular biology, but then it's a research that if I want to move further in the future, I can just say, oh, my research is in the area of agriculture, my research is in the area of molecular biology, my research in the area of genomics. So it depends on how much you are able to come up with a concept that at the long run in future, you are going to be able to expand it, or you streamline what you have conducted or what you have done into another area of research that is still key. So you need to know what your research interest is. So this is going to drive you to how you are going to come up with a topic. But if you have a supervisor that is giving you a topic, you just have to settle with it and take your time to know what the topic is really talking about. So if there is a person now that is interested in doing research in food safety and security, and the supervisor is coming up with his supervisor is someone that is conducting research in cancer research, you know that that person is having a conflicting research interest with the supervisor. But then many times I used to tell students that even if you are getting a supervisor that is not within your research interest, there is a way you are going to be coming up with idea of doing things or coming up with concepts. You even giving your supervisor concepts that is going to incorporate your own interests at the long run into the supervisor interest. Now, if you're an undergraduate and your supervisor is giving you a topic and you cannot at least contribute to what you want to do as an undergraduate, you are going to end up being alienated by topic you have little or no idea. So it's going to be difficult for you to come up with getting articles. It's going to be difficult for you to come up with writing your thesis. And it's at the end of the day, you are just going to present what you don't have idea of. And that is why you see many students coming to people like us to help them write their thesis, which obviously is not a sin. But then to some level, you should be able to like write what you write a thesis or come up with a thesis concept. Now, if you want me to write a thesis for you now, for instance, as a consultant, I'm just going to ask you, what is your topic about, and give me a framework or breakdown of what your research is about. Now, as a person that have idea of what their thesis is or what their research is going to be about, you should be able to tell me or give me a breakdown of what your research is. That is going to give me idea of, oh, you really have knowledge of what you want to do, but you cannot come up with arranging informations together. In that sense, I know you don't have knowledge of how to write, but you have like enough idea of what you want to do. So that kind of student is going to really survive. So that is why I said the first thing you need to do is for you to know your research interests. Now, secondly, you need to interact with experts and colleagues who have worked on related subject area. Many times, it just baffles me that undergraduate students, they have seniors that have conducted research in areas that they want to conduct research. Or sometimes, or most times, let me not say sometimes, you have seniors that have been supervised by your research supervisor before. People that you know that, oh, this is the person my supervisor actually worked with the last time. Why not go and meet those kind of seniors and interact with them? Get to have idea of what they did working with that supervisor and how they go about doing it. Now, most times, students are always meeting seniors that is going to be giving them negative narrative of their experience. Now, when you are working or you are talking with a senior that is giving you a negative experience, that means is either the student did not really want to do the research, the student don't have idea of what the research is, or the student is not interested in research. Now, but then the second thing, like I said, it is very important that you relate with colleagues, senior colleague, experts that has worked in this related idea. And that is why we as B.Khrease are here to give you that kind of privilege, that kind of leverage to work with us so you can get idea. Now, you cannot come up with a topic now and I won't be able to refer you to one or two things that you need to do as an undergraduate, because I've worked with several colleagues, several students in diverse areas of agriculture, sciences, engineering, mathematics, and all that. So you need to work with experts, colleagues that have worked in related subject area pertaining to your topic. And most of the time, it is always good to reach out to seniors that your supervisor already worked with in the past. Now, the third thing is you get related idea developed to present situation to narrow down the area of concentration. Now, you are in an environment, Nigeria as a case study, you have several challenges in your field. I know we all know that in Nigeria, if we are going to conduct research, there's enough challenges, especially let's say in sciences or agriculture, there's enough challenges. Now, if as an undergraduate, you have not been able to identify challenge in your immediate environment, that means you don't really know what you want to do. Now, it should be easy for you to identify a challenge that's for the past 4 years. Let's say FUTA, for example, you are doing a research that is 5 years. For the past 4 years, you have been conducting research or going to classes, and you have not been able to pinpoint one challenge that is within your field that you feel it's going to develop into your research interest. If a student cannot do this, most times I don't blame them. It's because maybe they don't really feel the need to take the academic serious. So you need to be able to relate ideas to develop from present situation in your environment. Then you need to use this to narrow down to your area of concentration. So like I said, if my supervisor, if my research interest is in the area of cancer research and diabetes. And my supervisor is asking me to work in the area of conduct genomic analysis on plants. And I know that this plant is a natural medicine. Now, funny enough, my work is on genomic. You get what I'm saying? Of capsicum species. But because I have idea in the area of working in diabetes and cancer, I discovered that I'm not really doing that as an undergraduate. But I was able to come up with concept of what introduced idea of cancer and diabetes in my literature review. So whoever is going to be reading is going to be seeing the long-term application of what I'm doing. You get what I'm saying? So this is going to also help you in future because this thesis you are presenting is going to give whoever is going to be reading it concept that is beyond what you have just written or what you have just done in that research. Now, your thesis is working in the area of genomics, is working in the area of isolation of pathogens in a spoiled food, working in the area of getting environmental microorganism that you know that is being used for recycling. But then it should be something that you know that if you want to use this idea to coin a future research, you should be able to walk ahead. You should be able to use it to forge ahead. Like in the area of what did I call it? Pathogen from spoilage. You know that these pathogen are those ones that are going to eventually result into, let's say, gastrointestinal disease. Now you can go ahead and say, oh, you want to get antibiotics. You want to compare one pathogen to another. You want to see the secondary metabolites they are going to be producing. Then you are going to be using that to like scaling it up to produce antibiotics. So what you are doing presently is not the end of what you can do. So you have to have idea of conceptualizing what your research can do beyond what you are doing as undergraduates. You get what I'm saying? So if your supervisor is telling you just go and do isolation, characterize it, and submit, you know that that is not the end. And this is because I know many of us or many of the undergraduates here are going to be using this thesis or presenting this thesis at their research. How do they use to write it in CV? Research experience in your CV. You get what I'm saying? So many times students use it as research experience in their CV. And if you are going to be presenting this in your CV or presenting it in your document in the long run, that means you should be able to conceptualize something that if people see your thesis and they see what you have conceptualized from that thesis, they will be able to relate it to, oh, this is what this person did. But this can be channeled into this in future research or maybe in postgraduate research. So that is how I used to tell students to come up with their topic most of the time so that they can do something that is going to be relevant at the long run. So the fourth thing is in topic creation, like I've said, I think I've mentioned this not once, not two times. Download articles to get informed on the subject area. Now, there are several databases you can download articles. There are several places you can download articles. Now, the subject area that you are going to, that I'm now talking about is relative to where your research is going to be extracted from. Now, there are several databases. Some are peculiar to social sciences. Some are peculiar to health and biomedical sciences. Some are general purpose. Get what I'm saying? So finally, from a couple of information obtained from articles about the current environmental community status, a problem statement should be a directional force coupled with initial area of interest to design a standard topic. So if you have been able to come up with all this idea, you know that, oh, in my environment, there is this, there is that. Oh, I've been able to get papers that talk about this and that in my environment. You have been able to discuss with seniors. You've been able to discuss with experts, your supervisor, and then you have a research interest. Now you should be able to come up with an excellent topic that is going to capture what you really want to do that is beyond the present. So most times students just come up with topic because they want to do their undergraduate research and they are not seeing a future outside that undergraduates. You get what I'm saying? So if you are not seeing a future outside undergraduate, you will just come up with a topic that doesn't really make sense or doesn't have meaning to what you want to do at the long run. So the next thing is, after you have been able to create your topic, you should remember to prioritize your attached supervisory area of focus. Now I'm repeating this because if you must pick a research topic, it must be relating to their field of interest. Now this has advantage and disadvantage in some stages, because if you're an undergraduate and you don't have research interests, which is fine, you are going to be able to adapt yourself to whatever your supervisor is giving you. You will work in that area. You are going to develop yourself over time, get articles, work in that area, prepare yourself. Oh, this is what I'm going to battle for the next 6 or 1 year as an undergraduate. Fine. But then the disadvantage is that you have a research interest already and you know what you want to do, but you are given a supervisor that is not in your area of research. You are going to be having conflicting interests, but then you don't have choice. You have to succumb to what your supervisor research or area of research is. So you need to come up with a new topic or a new idea that is still going to be incorporating your own interests and your supervisor interests, which is going to have 70% of what your supervisor is doing and 30% of what you are doing. Now, the next thing is familiarize yourself with supervisor field of research by reading their past related articles, authored or co-authored. So if you want to get idea of what your supervisor has been doing or what they are asking you to do, most time people don't know the secret is, if your supervisor give you a topic, there will have been a research that they have done in the past that is that same topic. The only thing is they are always changing one thing or the other in that research you want to do. But students don't get this idea because they are not even aware their supervisor is publishing, talk less of going to get their papers. So I've witnessed many undergraduate students research work that, like I said, is a repetition of knowledge. It is not bringing new knowledge because they believe undergraduates, you just do research and graduate. Most times they don't publish undergraduate research work because they know it's a repetition. You get now. But then when an undergraduate do a research that is beyond just repetition, maybe there is inclusion of a new idea, new method, new concept. That is when you are going to see that supervisor will be telling you, go and write your manuscript, let's publish your work. You get. But then for you to have a comprehensive knowledge of what you want to do, go back to reference of what your supervisor have done. Like I said, they have online profile. Get to their Google Scholar, get to their Scopus profile, PubMed profile. Get to that, see what they have done. You are going to be surprised that what you are doing or what you want to do, methods of what you want to do has been like properly documented in the past research they have done. So this is one thing you need to know. Now, another thing is to attend a training program like this for students before attachment to know their research interest. Now, programs like this, avenue like this is going to help students to come up with, have an idea about to come up with topic or getting concept about to come up with topic. But it's so sad that many undergraduates don't see the need of knowing how to get this done now. But then when they get maybe peradventure, they have the opportunity to go for graduate school or go for management program that is going to require them to know how to come up with concepts. This is where they lost out. So trainings like this is going to give you idea. And I know many times, maybe in future, there are going to be opportunities like this. Or when you are doing your undergraduate research, there are going to be opportunities like this for you to conduct research. Come up with a program like this to know how to come up with topic creation. Now, the last thing is building a strong supervisor-student relationship that will enhance knowledge. Now, if you have a supervisor that is not within what you want to do, but you cannot change your supervisor by default because that is what the department have given you. You need to know how to build a supervisor-student relationship. Move closer to them as a student, get to know them very well so that they can give you more information, talk more with you. Now, many students don't have this supervisor-student relationship because they feel their supervisor is God and they cannot have they don't have this privilege to move closer to them. So it limits what they want to do. And it also limits what they should be doing. You get now. So it's going to limit how productive the student is going to be. At the same time, it's going to limit what the outcome of the student research is going to be. So as undergraduates, I want to advise that you are encouraged or you are advised to go into more student supervisor relationship, build a relationship with your supervisor, because it's beyond just creating to research topic. It's beyond just going to the lab conducting your analysis. It's beyond just after conducting your analysis, you submit your thesis and run away. In future, you might need your supervisor for recommendation. That is why this building relationship with your supervisor is going to help you in future. So that is that about that. Now, going to the last part of topic today is the database. A database is a platform with an organized collection of information across all fields of research. And this is where many times you get articles that are needed for you to conduct your thesis writing. Now, some example of databases that we have is Scopus, PubMed, Web of Science, Google Scholar, etc. Now, there are several other databases, but for the course of this training, I'm going to just be demonstrating or showing us the use of Google Scholar, which is a general purpose database. It contains information, articles, resources, either original article, review, editor, comments, whatever, just name it, from all publishers, all known publisher in the STEM, engineering, sciences, technology, management, just name it. Any field of research in this world, you are going to get articles from Google Scholar. But then for PubMed, relatively, you are going to get more of X and biomedical sciences. And then for Scopus, you are going to get more of STEM and X. So these databases are designed in such a way that they have the kind of information or a field of information you want to get. So most time I used to recommend Google Scholar for students so that they can get more information, more diverse knowledge, or more articles. Like I said, if you're having a database that is specific to a field and you are searching some keywords in that database compared to a database that has wide gap of field collection, you know that information you are going to be getting in that general purpose database is going to be very much, because there are going to be some keywords that you are going to be getting from the field of social science in some articles, getting the same keywords in agricultural science, getting the same keyword in another field of study. So it's more comprehensive, more good that you use a general purpose. Database. So for the course of our training today, I'm just going to be illustrating one database, and I know that we have idea of how to use this database. I don't know, Mr. Blessing, you know how to use Google Scholar, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So I'm just going to be showing you one thing in Google Scholar that maybe, I don't know if you might have come to use it before or not. So very quickly, I'm going to share using Google Scholar. My tutors, none of you are responding. Are we all with me?
Yes, we are here.
I think we have
Yes,
moderator, am I still within time? We have just how many minutes?
About 30 minutes.
Okay, moderator is gone safe.
You have just 4 minutes left
Oh,
to round up.
Okay, ma. Thank you. Because Mr. Tula said 30 minutes. I'm happy. Can move forward. So now, Google Scholar. Okay. Thank you. Publish. So now let me share my screen for the house. So in Google Scholar, let me give you an idea of a topic I'm just going to be using. Like I'm going to be demonstrating using Google Scholar to get articles that are related to my topic. As a student of biotechnology, my supervisor gave me this topic. Oh, okay, let me say, Mr. Blessing, can you come up with a topic, or do you have a topic you want us to work on as an undergraduate? Let's just use this as a practical. Are you with me? Can you hear me? Mr. Blessing.
I'm with you, sir. Sorry, I'm with you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So can you help us with the topic that you want us to search?
Incidents of hepatitis B among students.
Okay, type it in the key box. Incidence of
Hepatitis B.
rather the chat box.
Okay, I'll do that now.
Incidence, and then you'll be the one to give us the keywords, because we are going to be using the keywords. Now, one funny thing about keywords is you can have one, let's say you have 10 keywords. Now, the way you use these keywords is going to determine the kind of result is going to present to you. The way you use keywords is going to determine the kind of result it's going to present to you. Let's say, for instance, you are using the keywords separately. Now, the amount of articles it's going to bring out for you is going to be different when you use a keyword that is compounded. And when I mean compounded, that means you are going to be using Boolean function. Now, there are three Boolean functions, which is the and, or, and not. But I'm not going to be teaching us that. That is not part of this training. There is and, there is or, and not. But I'm just going to be demonstrating just one, and. You get what I'm saying? So now for this topic, we have incidence of hepatitis B infection among full-time students. Yeah, maybe there has been report of hepatitis B. What's the disease relevance to hepatitis B? What's the disease it causes?
Because hepatitis B infection is a virus. Hepatitis B is a virus.
Yeah.
That causes hepatitis.
I think there is one hepatitis class that causes cervical cancer also, if I'm right. No, it's not the one. Or is it herpes? Okay, I just know. Okay, that is hepatitis B. Now, can you give us a keywords from this topic? Like, can you come up with keywords using this topic? Now, if you look at this topic, you are going to see that this your topic cannot come up with a meaningful search, because this is just asking for incidents. There should have been something that is going to like capture some other relevant information about hepatitis B from this topic. Now, if I will break down this topic, I cannot use footer because you will not expect that you are going to use footer as a keyword because footer is not a viable keyword that we can use in searching. Now, students, anybody can be students. You can use patient. You get what I'm saying? So students cannot be used as a viable keywords too, but we can use hepatitis B. We can use incidents and one other keywords. Can you give me one other or two other keywords so we can use to search on our on the Google Scholar page? You are going to be the one to come up with keywords because this is the topic you came up with. So we have hepatitis B, which obviously we know it's going to result into infection. So what we can talk about instead of infection is pathogenicity. Let's just put pathogenicity. Mr. Blessing has run away.
No, I'm with you, sir.
Okay.
No.
Okay, we have hepatitis B, pathogenicity.
But I can't see your screen, no. Is it only me?
Oh, sorry. I thought you have spiritual eyes. I don't know. I didn't share the screen.
Share screen now.
Okay, this is hepatitis B, pathogenicity, and what's other thing?
Is it only me?
Can you see it?
Yes.
So give me one more keywords. I want to show you something. Hepatitis B, pathogenicity. What disease does this hepatitis B cause?
It causes inflammation of the liver.
It causes what?
Inflammation of the liver.
Let's say liver disease.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you can see these keywords now that I've written. What I used to separate them is just a key. Now, the way these databases are built, they are built in such a way that they understand keywords command that you are going to be using to search for articles online. And like I said, there are some Boolean functions that are being used to represent finding article online that is going to be relevant to that information peculiar to what you really want to get. Now, I have written these keywords, hepatitis B, pathogenicity, and liver, but without a Boolean function. Now, I want to search for papers that have these keywords, hepatitis B, pathogenicity, liver disease, without using Boolean function. Now, I'm going to search. Now, you are going to see the results going to be bringing out for me is 116,000 results. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
No, but then this is just 116,000 articles. But I cannot use all this. I can't use all this. Why would I be looking for paper and I'll be using this amount of key papers? I can limit this down and reduce it by range by year. I can say from 2000, because obviously you can see 1992 year. So let me say from 2010 to 2024. You are going to see that I'm going to get paper within this year range. So when I click on search, it's going to reduce to 18,600. Now you can see from 2010 to 2024, that's about 14 years, we have 18,600 papers. But then that is not a normal way to search for paper as an undergraduate. Because these keywords now, that means this paper is going to be finding for, this search algorithm is going to be finding for papers that have this this, and this. Sometimes it might be this separately in a paper, this separately in a paper, this separately in a paper. But I want papers that are going to have these exact keywords inside the paper. It's not like this is going to be separate in the paper. This two is not going to be showing. You get what I'm saying? So now I want to get a paper. You remember the first time we searched for the algorithm, we got 116,000 papers. But now we need to get paper that is going to be having all this information alone within them embedded. So I'm going to be using a Boolean function, which is and. So when I use and, I'm going to remove this comma. I'm going to remove. So what I'm going to need to put now is the apostrophe. Is this apostrophe or semicolon? No, it's apostrophe. So I'm going to put the apostrophe at the end of each of these words. So it's going to be like a word that is compounded together. Now the reason for this and, which is a Boolean function, is because it is going to tie information of this hepatitis B into a paper that is going to also have this pathogenicity, and also a paper that have this disease. So it's going to always only present paper that have these three keywords. So any paper that doesn't have these three keywords inside them is going to eliminate. You get what I'm saying? So I will just click on search. The first time when I click on it, how many paper does it give me? How many paper does it give me? 116,000. Now you can see now that when I search it, how many paper is it giving me? 4,110. Now this is just random keywords we use. Now these are like to some extent reduce headache for you to start looking for papers that you want to pick or using a year to screen out. But now I have from 2010 to 2024. That means the search that I have gotten for this, let me search it again. The search I've gotten for these keywords from 2010 to 2014 is 4,110. So, but then let me say I want to use from 2020 to 2024. Within the space of 4 years, I want to know information about all these keywords: hepatitis B, pathogenicity, and liver. Papers that have discussed them within people that have discussed them inside, like people that have this keyword inside of them. So I will now search. You are going to see that it's going to reduce from 4,000 to 1,930. So now I have several papers. Now I have review articles and research papers. Because you're an undergraduate, you want to conduct a research that is original paper. What you need to do is you need to get a paper that is not review article, because you are going to be using idea of methods that you need to conduct your own personal research. So you can only get method that you need from original paper, not review paper. So let me say I want to check what review paper is going to look like. I'll just click on this, and it's going to reduce it to 441 paper. Can you see it? 441 papers. That means all the papers that I'm seeing now are all review paper. Are you getting what I'm saying? But then because I don't know what the original paper is, or what the original paper are, or the original research, I will just scroll it back. I will need to start checking one by one. And that is where research, that is where Google Scholar is limited. Now you cannot separate out review articles from original articles, but what you have now is a combination of research, original research, and review research, or editor paper. Whatever kind of paper you can get book, you can get thesis. In fact, sometimes some people publish thesis online, so you can always get thesis document. So what you need to do now is that you are going to start looking out for papers that is original. You get what I'm saying? So you start looking out for it one by. Let's say your work is talking about incidents of what?
Hepatitis B.
Incidents of hepatitis B. Now you can look at this topic and it's going to say increased pro-inflammatory cytokine production in chronic hepatitis B patients with mutant blah 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 in the liver disease. Distinct disease feature in chimpanzee infection. So these are the things you are going to start looking out for one by one. But then there are several other databases that can help you get more comprehensive information without going through this stress, which is the Scopus and Web of Science. But because our time is past spent, I'm not going to be demonstrating that. I'm just going to be I'm just going to just show this Google Scholar. But then as we go through this training process, we are going to be able to see more information of how to go about writing a thesis from the scratch. So, and I think there is one other tutor that is going to be taking database comprehensively. So I would want you to prepare your mind, prepare your time, prepare whatever you need to prepare, just prepare everything so that you can learn the best from this training. So I think this is where I'm going to stop for tonight because it's almost, it's remaining just 7 minutes. No, so thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. I hope, okay, the next thing on my document here is questions. Do you have any questions? Is there anything you want to discuss so that we can talk about it with you, Mr. Blessing?
Yes, sir. I have some questions actually.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Basically, when I was giving a supervisor, I was giving Professor a tile. So he's a food
Okay.
microbiologist.
He's a food microbiologist, yes.
There's this suggestion that was written at the department that people should do their projects based on.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Suggestion at the department that people should do their projects based on what they need in IT and what they can do around food also. So that was why I suggested hepatitis B, and it was telling me that I should just collect the samples and just do a mini work on it. Even the work is it's not that much, just questionnaire and then doing the maybe positive or negative. But I'm seeing it beyond that because the thing is not that much, really.
Okay.
You get it, sir? So I'm trying to see if I can incorporate some things to it so I can make the work very maybe presentable and then standard enough. So I actually made a mistake. I should have registered for Mentorship 1.0, but that time I was not that stable. That was I'm not even happy with it.
Mentorship 1.0 is okay, but I think we don't have this much amount of tutors in Mentorship 1.0. So it's more going to be beneficial for you now because you are going to be having more knowledge from several tutors. Now you can see Mr. Benson. He's like, when is my turn? Let me just dish. You can see him just looking. So you have enough tutors that are going to take you things that you might have known before, but then they are going to give you in such a way that, oh, you are going to get it more. So mentorship 1 is good, but then we don't have much tutor like we have now. So, and then now you're having a supervisor that is doing a research that is not within what you want to do. And because you have, and I'm sure maybe what you want to do now is not just because what you want to do now. You have a prospect of graduate school. You get what I'm saying now? So if you are going to be coming up with a research that you think is not a solid background of what your supervisor is doing, you must be able to come up with a work that is going to incorporate at least what he is doing with what you want to do. Now, your supervisor is a food microbiologist. Hepatitis B is not a food Is it a foodborne disease?
No, no,
Microorganism? It's not.
no, sir.
It is
It's not.
it is not a
Ah,
foodborne disease. So that is one limitation. Another thing is, because hepatitis B is more of a pathogenic virus that is going to cause disease, infection, or whatever. Now, your supervisor is going to be working more with bacteria because he is a food microbiologist. And even if he's going to be working with microorganisms, it is only my bacteria that's going to be more within his maybe area of research. He might have gone for other opportunities where he's going to work with virus, but then that is not his solid strength. I hope you get what I'm saying. That is not his strength.
yes, sir.
So now, if you are going to work with your supervisor and get the best of knowledge, get the best of mentorship, get the best of relationship with him, I would advise that you want to work around the field of infectious disease, right? Or
Yes,
you
sir.
just want to work on virus.
Yes.
You want to do virology.
But immunology and biology,
Okay. So there are ways in
based
which
on the fact that
now what I would advise you to do is you are going to go and sit down and look out for a topic that is more comprehensive, that is going to have a keyword of immunology or immune system. Now, if you look at this search word that we did just now, this search, what are they calling it? This search keywords that we use to search information. You are going to see that this keyword is restricted. It's restricted in such a way that because we did not put some relevant keywords that is relative to what you want to do, we are not going to be getting more papers that is in the area of immunology because you didn't put anything like immunology or immune system. So even if it's going to be in paper in that area, it's not going to be within the first 100. You get what I'm saying? So the keywords you put in your search algorithm is going to really determine the kind of papers that is going to bring in the maybe first 20, first 30, first 100. So now you have to come up with a keywords that is going to help you search out papers that are really relevant to your field or the field you want to work around. Now, your supervisor is a food microbiologist. I would want a microbiologist, a solid microbiologist like Mr. Lekon or Mr. Tokbe to give comments to this student. What do you think you can do? Mr. Tokbe, please unmute yourself and let's see your face.
It's important.
Mr. Tokbe, unmute yourself so I can see your face. And then you can answer this question for Mr. Blessing. So I think you're an expert in this area. So it's going to be good that you help us or you help him get understanding of what he can do.
Hello, sorry, can you repeat what you said?
Can I do what?
Can you repeat with the question?
Okay, Mr. Blessing, can you just give us your question again so Mr. Tokwe can advise and Mr. Lekon can advise?
sir, thank you very much, sir. So I had interest in biology and immunology. So, but my supervisor here in school is Professor Tayo. He is a food microbiologist. Even specifically, mushroom is into mushroom production. So now he said, "What's my area of interest?" And I said, "Biology for now." That I cannot do anything. It was not like I should just work on incidence of hepatitis B among future students. But the way he drafted the work for me is not that really standard because he just asked me to administer questionnaire, get blood sample, maybe do a test, maybe they are positive or negative, and that's all. And I'm thinking the work is not that standard enough, and then it's not really capturing what I really want And as a professor, sometimes you can there's this leadership, there's a way they dictate some things, and I think some advice on how to incorporate biology and immunology in my work and how to relate with him so that he can guide me. Because I noticed that recently there's this admission I made. When I asked her for a recommendation, what she wrote there is not that interesting. I was very lucky for getting that CC. So it doesn't really, I don't know. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So
I
how to flow
understand. I
with
understand. I think his food is his area of focus is food microbiology, but there's a way you guys can work it out. Because Professor Yutare is a person that is very accommodating if you know how to relate with him very well. Even still till now, I still do chat him or send him some works to check out for some of our collaboration work. So what I will advise you is that in FUTA, like FUTA, one thing about FUTA lecturers is that they like you bringing work or idea for them. So what I will advise is that if you have any work that you think it's up to your own standards, just work on the idea. It might be just a literature review to support maybe your research focus. It might be just a literature review. You can draft it out or write it out. Then you show him. Then another thing is that you can connect it to Professor Dr. Oladejo. If you need more insight on it, you can ask him to connect you with Dr. Oladejo. They work hand in hand sometimes. So I think that one will also work out too. But just make sure you bring something up, you work yourself, you develop yourself and bring out some ideas or bring out some paper. You can just draft some research work out and just show him that this is what I did, this is what I did. Can you advise me on it? Can you also connect me with Professor this thing? If he sees you as someone that really likes research, he'll be able to help you very well. He's a very nice match.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tokbe, for that comment. Mr. Chula, what can
Yeah.
you advise this young man to do? What do you
Yeah,
think he should?
I think I support what Mr. Tokwe said. Um that's one thing about the man is very accommodative. It depends on your own relationship with him. Have you tried to like build a relationship with him? Or are you taking it in terms of is just a random lecturer? So I think that's where it should start from. Like, what relationship do you have with him? A supervisor in any academic set is more of, it depends on your relationship with that person. Your relationship will determine so many things on how the outcome of your work is going to be. You understand? So, for example, when I was an undergraduate, my supervisor was a medical microbiologist, a professor in medical microbiology, and I worked in the area of food because right from time I've always wanted to study food microbiology, which I am still doing now. So it depends on how when this thing started. She said I should bring a topic, so then I actually brought one yeah topic then, but she was like you know this topic that I brought, do I know that she's more focused on the medical aspect. Actually, we're three under her, and she was able to give the other two people her own topic, but I kind of disagreed with her. Not like disagree, but I kind of um had a conversation with her based on what I wanted. You understand? And to some extent, she really tried. She was able to give me something so related to what I wanted to study. That's because of the relationship. Okay, then I took her as like the way I relate with her was kind of like a son and mother stuff. So even apart from academic settings, you send message, you greet her. So through that, you as a person now, you now know, Tokwe said that he can also recommend somebody That's is it Mr. Oladejo or something like that, who is into your field, go. So through that, he may say that, okay, oh, this is what and what you want to do. Okay, let me just put you under someone that you will benefit a lot from. Okay, because during my own undergraduate this thing project, I said I was working with a medical microbiologist, but everything I did was actually on food. It was on OG. I worked on OG, and throughout the whole process, many of the things I was actually getting the materials, the information, everything on my own. Okay. So when I give it to her, she just check, she reviews it, she compares with, I don't know where she does all those things, and anything she sees that I need correction, she corrects me, and that was how we're able to. So just try to like build a kind of relationship with your supervisor, and see, you don't have to don't let any supervisor give you a topic um that you don't want. Okay, that's where everything starts from. You yourself, you have what you want, you have a goal for your life. You know that this is what you want to do in the area. You said virology or something like that. Yeah, this is what you want to do. So it's not because they placed you under a supervisor. Fine, Nigeria's education system is somehow, but you're not allowed that. Okay, so just try to like build a relationship with him, and try to like see the possibility of him putting you under someone that is better off on that topic you are going for. That's just what I have to say concerning that.
Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you, sir. So I believe you've heard what they have said. And you want to do virology, but you know that you can actually do immunology work, but then it's going to be restricted to works that need to be done using biosensors or biomarker uh, related analysis. Like exactly, you can do hepatitis B research. But which analysis is he asking you to do beside the questionnaire? Is it for you to use ELISA, for you to do gel? What is he exactly asking you to
Actually,
do?
I suggested Eliza on
Mhm.
my so I suggested Eliza, but it was like I should just use test strip. And I felt it's too, I don't know.
Test
You get it?
tube.
So test strip, what is test strip? Now you just give us on these
Okay, okay,
chromatographic
okay. So
just
you can see your
print.
research is not really a new research. It's like you want to know
Yes,
if that student have hepatitis or not, which obviously,
yes.
like I said, it's not going to be good that you don't have idea of what you want to do. So if you can comprehensively develop what you want to do, it's not going to end here. But you must be able to present your work in such a way that whoever is going to see it, we know that you did something really nice. So they will not argue with you that you have not done something. Now you cannot do something that your supervisor is not going to support you in. You get, even if you know what you want to do, and your supervisor is saying no, you cannot do it, except you build a relationship with them, which Mr. Tokwe and Mr. Lekon said. If you don't have that, you are going to be limited in how well you can express yourself, and then you will not end up doing something you think is good or relevant to your research. And if you are presenting your supervisor without good relationship, they will just rubbish you in your defense day. Funny enough, they will not tell you you are doing nonsense in the lab. It is on your defense day they will now come and tackle you that. Didn't I tell you to do this? You get what I'm saying now? They'll be the one to, nobody will tackle you. They'll be the one against you. It will be like the weapon fashion against you. So that is just by the way. So you know how to relate with him. He's a very nice man. He's a food microbiologist, work with fungi, work with bacteria. Now you can even conduct a research and compare coexistence of bacteria and hepatitis B virus in the sample, which is what you are going to still do. You can come up with that. If you want to elaborate your research, you should know coexisting microorganism that is present. Are you not, is it not blood you'll be getting?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can even ask him, oh, sir, this is what I think. This is what I think. Oh, sir, this is what we should do. This is what you should do. If you have idea of what you want to do, go ahead with it. Mr. Tokwe is raising his hand. You want to say something loud? Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So another thing that might be maybe holding him back on it is that like full-time we don't really have much of those advanced tools that we can use on virology, like all those RT, PCR, QT-PCR, and the likes. So that one might be another issue on its own. So
Okay.
during the price too and the likes. So,
Blessing. Mr. Blessing, do you have a place you want to be a last?
Yes, in Ibadan, yes.
Okay,
and your supervisor don't want you to go, Abi. That's the issue.
It was like, I'm going to Ibadan. Are you sure? Are you getting it? So it's not believing me. I'm planning to go there next week. Like, I have to snap pictures, everything.
You want to go and cook up results?
No, he did not believe it. Maybe they can run it like that. I was like, this thing, we did it when I was doing my IT now. So I don't even know. But I'll just try and.
I get. Okay, I think this is where we are going to end today. So next week we are going to be having the person of Mr. Benson, the right man for chapter 1. He's going to be breaking the. Oh, sorry, I'm not the one supposed to be saying this. Moderator, please come up. Sorry for that.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Christopher Olowosoke, for the wonderful lecture on topic creation and database. I'm sure our participants was able to, learn one or two new things. Right, Mr. Blessing?
Smart.
Okay. So the mentorship program continues next week, Saturday, July 13, 2024, by 12.
Our moderator, we can't see your face. You are the moderator. We need to see your face. It's so surprising that we can't see your face. I'm shocked.
You will see my face next.
Okay.
So, we might have to go back next week, Saturday.